these are your gable ends. You want to be sure that you understand these are your hinge holes, which is the rear of the hive, the back side of the wall. These will be lugs that will hold the roof up on the gable. The gable ends will hold the lugs on the ends of the hive to keep the roof from falling down until you get the legs on. And then the roof will set on the legs. Again, this is the back. These are the fascia. I'm going to make a change on this, but I'll show you now. If your kit, you get your fascia one is wider than the other, the wide one must go on the rear, back by the hinge holes. I found now the way I'm doing it, I don't have to have it that way. So after this batch of hives is gone, kits, they'll all be the narrow. So we'll go with the wide to start with. Your new kit will be done exactly the same way, only you will not have to worry about this board being wider because they'll both be the same width. Either one will go either front or back. I'm going to put this on like this. I'm going to line this back corner up, top corners, line them up. There will be a space down here at the bottom, overhang on the back side. But this will line up on the top right here. This corner will line up. Okay. I usually try not to do the bottom down there, that way the stain and stuff will penetrate the bottom. I'm going to start my screws. If you have a brad gun or nail gun, you can tack this before you screw it. It makes it easier, but I'm not going to do that. I've got one. Again, I'm lining this corner up, and I'm going to drive it down to one spin, turn it back, get it lined up on this side. There it is. Front gable, or front fascia. Again, just start my screws just so they're in place. Bring it over again, line it up at the very top like so, and tack it. If you don't tack it real hard, it won't want to spin on you. You get them both. There's one end. Flip it over. If I didn't tell you, these go on the inside. Okay? The only reason this screen is on here, it keeps birds, wrens, or whatever from using it as a nesting box. But it keeps the birds out. Same color. Stick. If you don't own one of these, go buy one, folks. They are awesome. I didn't know how good they were. A buddy of mine loaned me his, and I never looked back. The top up, just tack it, and Rafters, there's 4 of them, fit in like so. Now this one is going to want to spin on you, so watch your fingers when you put it in. Line your screw up with the center of the rafter. Line the edge of the rafter up with the, like so, center. right here is where it'll pinch you if you're not careful. So get a good hold on it. So. Two, again lining the center of the rafter up with the screw. Sometimes the screen in this will get in the way a little bit. I just had to kind of crush it out of the way a little bit. It wants to get, it'll want to get in the way when you put them on there. Again, center. There's one end. Flip it over. Okay, same thing with this end. A little glue. Shove it in. Center it. The roof assembly is done. Now, I'm going to do just like they do on the cooking shows when they put a dish together and they have to bake it for an hour and a half at 350 degrees. They open the oven door, put it in, and then they have one ready. Here's my one that's ready. So let me get it drug over here. First of all, I'm going to put the screen bottom in. You'll have your roll of screen bottom like so. Roll it loose back the other way. That kind of straightens it out to where it's not going to coil up on you. Like so. It will go in the bottom like this. Now, I can use my staple gun to put the bottom in, but I had some hand surgery a while back, so I'm going to cheat and use my air stapler. Let it do the work for me. Basically, all you're going to do is keep it straight and keep it pull. I'm pushing down and back towards the rear of the hive. Standard T50 half-inch staple. That's all they are. Now we're going to do the roof assembly. Put the hinges on. Hinge bolts and 2 aluminum hinges. Like so. You do not want to put a washer on this. Put the bolts through, put the nuts or the on so, finger tighten. This will move a little bit. You want to move the hive, the hinge up, push it up this way. 7/16 inch wrench. Snug them up. Only snug them to the point where they start to compress the wood on the outside, the heads. You will not have to worry about it coming loose. The heads really bite into the aluminum, or the nuts do, so it's not going to come loose on you. We'll do the same thing on the other end. Hinge on. The reason these bolts are short like this is there's not a lot of tolerance between the inside of the roof assembly and the end of the hive. Again, I'm pushing the hive the hinge up. Look at that, so. Okay, flip it over. Roof lugs come in. The ones on the inside, you can see they are holding the hive body up, or the hive roof assembly up. You can see there's very little tolerance on each end there. Now, drill bit for a 1/4 inch. You want to shove the roof assembly forward all the way. You want the back right against the back of the hive. Okay, it is touching right there. Okay, push back. Be sure it is level. Take your drill. Drill. 1/4 inch nut. Washer. And nuts. You don't need a washer. There's not going to be any. On here I put 2 nuts. And I use a little crescent and hooks in, and I just double tighten them together like that. And I'll do the same to the other end. I'm going to call that. Okay, there's the hinge roof. So there it is. With this roof, it's called my classic Dutch barn. Count your ribs in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. Here's your center. I've got it marked. You want your center right on top of the peak. Again, I have them marked. Both are on the peak. Line your roof up. I do it this way. Do it by feel. Get both of them the same. All right. The roof will be pre-drilled for you. I'm using the silver with the neoprene washer to keep it dry. Push down on both sides. If you push on one side, it's going to want to slide. Push down on both sides. Stick it in. Again, I'm going to do the same thing on this end. Push down on both sides. Stick it in. Here, pushing it down. Lay a bead of silicone right around the inside of the window like so. Okay. Yeah, it's about done. When you get your window, your glass, it will have cover on it. Be sure and take that off before you put your window in. Put it in. Press it in like that. And ladies and gentlemen, there you go. There's your window. I'm going to put the roof stop chain on. I'm just going to go down a little bit below the center. 9 3/4 will be your center mark, so I'm going to put it right there. Use a flat-headed screw. This is a little square drive. Here's my mark. It doesn't want to catch near as bad. And then the other one, I usually put it right up here where it'll go into that rafter also. And there's your roof stop. So, I'm only going to put 2 of these on because I'm going to take them back off. I'm going to use my mule that my lovely wife is setting in to transport this to my bee yard, so I'll have to take the legs back off. If they are, you're going to want to stain them if you're staining it, but with this I think they look good. Pre-drilled bolt holes, it goes in just like that. I'm not even going to bolt them for you, it's not rocket science. The bolts, see how the legs and the roof fit. Be sure and put your legs on this way. The roof comes down and fits right on top of the legs. That way any snow, any weight that you get here is transferred straight to the legs, to the ground, instead of the hive body. Now I want to show you a little trick that I use. Got a guy that likes overkill. These have a neoprene washer on them. Once I put them in, back it out, put a little squirt of silicone, run the threads like so, put it back in. That's not going to leak. Run it. Not a bad looking little thing, is it? Your top bars are going to lay in here like this. Again, they have the wax starter strip. I use a flat one, and reason being, they will build it straight on here. If they get to where they're not, if they start straying or whatever, I can take I just use this. This is all I use I don't even use a hive tool, just a bread knife. I can take this and I can slice that loose and I can manipulate that back over, and then they'll reattach it and I have straight comb. If you have that in a pyramid down through there, you can't manipulate that comb. I like it flat.